Hey Kristy, wanted to shoot a video for your lead generation model. I haven't gone through this on paper, so we're going to run through this, live on the whiteboard on the first run of your 200 units. So we're going to go through the lead generation model, and then just want to show you some assumptions over here, which is everybody falls into one of these three categories. Everybody is either a met or a not met. And then your leads are either buyers or sellers, obviously, and then online and offline. So really these are the only areas to look at in a lead generation model. So the Mets and not Mets, really the Mets is your database of past clients and, contacts, not leads. Once you've contacted them, then, you've met a little bit. And then also this is what the Don Wenner gave me on the bare minimum conversion ratios from lead to closing. That says, if you're not hitting these, then something's wrong. In Craigslist, it's 1 to 2%, meaning you have to generate 50 to 100 leads to have a closing. Pay-per-clicks 2 to 3, SEO is 3 to 4%. Again, you have to generate 25 to 33 leads with organic traffic to have one closing. Sign and flyer calls 4 to 5%, open house 5 to 6%, and then referrals obviously being priceless. So if you were to do 200 homes, I'm going to assume you don't have a large Met database, and I'm also going to assume that right now your buyers agents and admins aren't farming their own database, whether it be Facebook or having a database from the previous job. So I'm going to break the 200 units into a third database, a third online, and a third offline, and seeing what kind of numbers we got to hit. So for 200 units to sell, let's see, 200 divided by 3 is 60. Let's just say 66. 66 homes from Mets, past clients, whether they use or refer you. So 66 Mets at a 10% conversion ratio, and I'll go over that in a second, means you need a database of 660 people. 660 people that would use and refer you. So your database needs to be at 660 people that said they would use and refer. And this 10% is 20 and 2. So this means out of every 20 people here, 1 will refer you and 1 will use you. So for people that say they would use and refer you or your buyer's agents or your admin, 1 out of 20 people only need to use you that year to buy and sell a home. That's 5%. And then 1 out of 20 people refer you over the course of a year. So that's your 10% conversion ratio. So to sell 66 homes, you need to have a 660 Met database that would use and refer you. To get the next 66 units, we're going to go, and again, half of these would be buyers, half would be sellers. And in the same way with the 66 online, closings, if you look at the online conversion ratios over here, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4, this averages out to be about 2.5%. So your online leads are at a 2.5% conversion ratio, which means to have 2.5 closings, you need 100 leads. So 66 divided by 2.5 is 30, be 75. 25, so about 28. So you need 2,800 online leads, and I divide everything by 10. Gives you 2 months to ramp up or 2 months to make up. So this means you'd have to have 280 online leads a month. So that would be 6 homes. Yep, that's about right. So 275 to 280 online leads a month. And then from there, they, again, if you split them up, a third Craigslist, a third pay-per-click, and a third SEO, it's about, 90 plus leads from Craigslist a month. So it's basically 3 a day from Craigslist, 3 a day from pay-per-click, 3 a day from SEO. Alright, and then the last one for 66 offline closings. This is basically going to be postcards, open houses, sign-in flyer calls, and expires and FSBOs. So postcards, open houses, sign-in flyers, expires and FSBOs. So if we basically divided this by 4, that is 10, 15, about 16. So to have 16 closings from postcards, you know your conversion ratios. 16%, 16 closings from open houses would be at a 5% conversion. That's 5. So you need about 315 open house leads. Sign-in flyer calls will use the 4%. So to have 16, 4, so you need 400. Sign-in flyer calls, expires and FSBOs. Basically, you need to be in a relationship with 5 sellers at 5 expires or FSBOs at one time to have a closing. So to have 16 closings means you need to be in 5 times 16, which is 80 relationships to have those 16 closings. 80 for sale by owner and expired. So this is 8 new for sale by owner and expired relationships a month, 40 sign-in flyer calls a month, basically 32 open house leads a month, and then your postcards, which, if that's at 3%, 3, 5, you need, about 500, you need 50, leads a month from postcards. But I don't know the conversion ratio there. So to do 200 deals, 8 new seller relationships a month, 40 sign-in flyer calls, 32 open house leads, 50, postcard or offline leads. And again, these are not nets. Online, you need 3 a day or 90 a month from Craigslist and pay-per-click and SEO. And then you need a 660 person database converting at 10% of use and refer to do your 200 a year. So take a look at your numbers and let me know, where you're lacking and what we can do to get these up.